Emerging from Friday prayers are
night of prehistoric battles and beasts on Science. Starting Saturday at 8 with Before the Dinosaurs, only on the Discovery Channel.
There is a place where the ordinary is always extraordinary, and where once upon a time happens once upon a day. Come live your dream this year during the Year of a Million Dreams at the place where dreams come true. Visit DisneyParks.com.
Every day, Lexmark printers go to work for some of the world's most important companies. In fact, 75% of the top banks, retailers, and pharmacies use Lexmark. And now, that same performance can work for your home, too. Introducing Lexmark's new All-in-One. With professional features and a protection guarantee that includes next business day replacement, Lexmark is ready to go to work for you.
This holiday season, leave the perfect hint for your wish list. Dreams come true during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event, featuring the redesigned 2007 Lincoln Navigator. The SUV that started it all is once again making its presence known. Find the ultimate holiday gift from the newest family of luxury vehicles during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event.
For each of us, there's a moment of discovery. We understand that all of life is elemental. And as we marvel at element bonding with element, we soon realize that when you add the human element to the equation, everything changes. Suddenly, all of chemistry illuminates humanity, and all of humanity illuminates chemistry. The human element. Nothing is more fundamental, nothing more elemental.
When I first saw him, I thought, this is a dead man.
Last week on Everest Beyond the Limit, the team saw firsthand the danger that awaits them.
One of our Sherpas died.
But Tuesday, their strength is put to the test.
This is kicking my butt.
And when the mountain begins to weaken them, Russell, the expedition leader, must make a decision.
He's a loss to you guys, not to me. He's not in the team.
Everest Beyond the Limit, Tuesday at 10 on the Discovery Channel.
very little in Iran is as it first appears to be. Tehran is choking on the pollution from its own traffic, a sign surely of a certain economic vitality. Sort of, but not entirely. The Iranian government subsidizes gasoline so that it only costs the consumer about 30 cents a gallon. At that price, driving a car really is one of the cheapest ways of getting around. Iran also heavily subsidizes bread, a staple of the Iranian diet, along with air travel and electricity. Many Iranians don't pay taxes. The poor aren't expected to. The rich frequently bribe their way out of it. How does the country survive? Oil at $70 a barrel covers any number of economic shortcomings, but even at $50 or $60 a barrel, they can compensate for a fair amount of corruption and incompetence. It must be a gloomy, uptight, repressive sort of place. All those mass public prayer meetings, the censorship, the prohibition against unmarried young men and women doing, well, almost anything together. Still, there are the most unexpected exceptions to the rule. Listen to Nusha Tavakolian. She's an Iranian photographer whom we hired and who traveled with us.
The thing is, young people now, they don't care about anything. They just want to have fun. They want to think of their career. They are not busy with politics at all. My sister, she's 18 years old. Hardly she knows who is Ahmadinejad is. She just scared to go to parties, wear like hip clothes and be with her friends. And
Now, at the parties, once it's behind closed doors, the chador comes off.
yeah. In a private house, you can.
Pretty dresses.
Yeah. You don't think you're in Iran.
Actually, not knowing or caring who the president of Iran is could be an advantage, a layer of protection these days. The kids may be a little wild, even un-Islamic, but not political, not dangerous.
نمیخوام برم بگو چرا داری منو هول میدی من زندان
Journalist Mazia Bahari also produces music videos.
He's talking about he doesn't want to be in jail. It's very unusual for Iranian rappers to have a socially conscious lyrics. I went to jail once when I was 16. I just had coffee with my girlfriend and I had to spend a week in jail. Because, you know, we were not married and we were not supposed to have coffee together. Yeah. There are lots of ways that you can put you in jail here.
And yet,
If I were doing what I've been doing in North Korea or Cuba or Syria or Saddam's Iraq, I would be a dead filmmaker. You know, you would be filming my funeral right now. But you see that in Iran, it doesn't happen.
but don't start getting all misty-eyed. I should have mentioned that Maziar's music video is for international distribution, and that does make a difference, as Abbas Abdi can testify. Back in 1979, he was one of those who organized the seizing of the U.S. Embassy. Abdi was a national hero at the time. But when, a few years ago, he organized a poll which found that nearly 3/4 of Iranians supported renewed dialogue with the United States, he ended up in prison for over 2 years. Aren't you taking a risk in talking to me as frankly as you've been talking? Isn't there a chance that they will arrest you again and send you back to prison?
Even if I delivered 100 insults, which I would not do, they won't do anything to me. The reason is that what I say has no impact on Iranian people. This is an interview that will go into a documentary for an international audience, but it does not impact the government.
Ganji, for example, has been a critic of the government. His hunger strike while serving 6 years in prison provoked demonstrations, and he could be in prison when he returns to Iran.
When a number of our political dissidents were killed through a series of murders, I was one of the primary people involved in uncovering the government's role.
We spoke with him on his recent visit to the United States.
Freedom of expression, which is one of our inherent rights, is denied. Over 100 publications have been closed down in Iran over the last 10 years.
Indeed, during our visit in September, the largest reform newspaper was shut down and remains closed. This was the last issue.
On the issue of women's rights, we are confronted with extreme inequality in our society, and women have minimal citizens' rights. When women demand equal rights, they are violently suppressed by government thugs.
Because if you want to know what really frightens the Iranian authorities, it's the growing influence and power of Iranian women. That part of the story when we come back.
Koppel on Discovery, Iran, the most dangerous nation, is brought to you in part by Intel. Multiply your possibilities with Intel Core 2 Duo, the world's best processors.
Multiple possibilities. Introducing Intel Core 2 Duo, the world's best processors.
It's something we all know from birth. A woman using sound to bring comfort. And now advanced ultrasound technologies from GE Healthcare are allowing doctors to use the power of sound to change the way they look at women's health. And to a lot of women out there, that's going to sound just beautiful. Healthcare reimagined. GE, imagination at work.
At E-Trade, we're continuously reinventing the way our customers invest. After all, it's in our DNA. Not just online trading, now E-Trade gives you the power to easily manage cash, research, allocate, and invest to make every dollar as productive as possible. Online, in person, or by phone. Be leader of the pack. Visit E-Trade today.
Multiply your possibilities. Introducing Intel Core 2 Duo, the world's best processors.
Man vs. Wild, Friday nights at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
Sharper, crisper, closer. Welcome to High Definition Sports on broadband from Verizon, where you don't just watch live streaming video, you experience it.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, a 9-iron, the net. Even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
On the next big science, in the beginning of time, there was chaos. And then, a new world order where survival of the fittest was the law of the land and the seas. How did these first beings evolve? And what did they evolve into? Witness an event of epic proportions. A special night of prehistoric battles and beasts on Big Science. Starting Saturday at 8 with Before the Dinosaurs, only on the Discovery Channel.
Under Islamic law, women must cover their heads. They are not obliged to, but many also wear the full chador. How women must or can appear in public is only part of the story. These days, many have attended university and hold positions of responsibility, but still, there are limits.
Women cannot become judge in Iran. Women cannot become president. And these discriminatory laws make Iranian women's life very hard and difficult. For example, women's inheritance in all the cases is half of the men. For example, if my father one day died, I get half of my brother from the inheritance, and so many other laws.
23-year-old Farnaz Saifi is a journalist whose weblog on women's issues has a loyal following.
It's like an alternative media. I can write my articles, my opinions, which I'm not allowed to talk about them in the official newspapers and dailies.
Farnaz believes that the government shut down her blog because it had become too popular. She has just started another, but is careful to avoid using the word women. For some reason, that word is blocked by the government filter. The singular, woman, seems to slip through. Using technology made in America, Iran is second only to China in the number of websites it filters. Still, it has one of the world's liveliest blogospheres. Perhaps as the result of restrictions on public demonstrations, Iran has at least 70,000 blogs. What is and is not permissible can at times take on a mind-bending quality. In Qom, Iran's holy city, I asked our local producer Borna Alikani to take me to an internet cafe.
What we have is called the filter net, which is slightly filtered.
For some reason, Paris Hilton and short dresses make it through, but
some sites which could be seen as sensitive or politically incorrect here are filtered out. What is politically unpalatable, which is considered like US propaganda. Okay. Voice of America. Okay. There we go. Dear customer, access to the site is denied.
in the war between the censors and the people trying to break through, who seems to be winning?
The users haven't managed to completely circumvent the system yet, but they do manage every day to win a small battle, but the war continues.
Nusha, our photographer, told me that this young woman, veiled from head to toe, would talk to us if we didn't show her face. And whom does she chat with?
Friends, boyfriends, with her boyfriends.
Ah. Yeah. And what kind of things do they chat about?
راجب چه چیزایی با هم چت میکنه؟ Normal things like first we say hi, then we ask how old are you and where do you live, and just we start with that kind of things.
Yeah, and has she ever met anyone that she talks to on a regular basis?
میگه تا حالا یک کدومشون رو دیدی که با هم اینجا آشنا شدیم بعد با هم قرار بذاریم؟ No.
Every day somebody new?
میگه هر روز یکی جدید میاده. وقت تلف کنی. He said just for wasting time.
Well, it's a nice way to waste time. It wasn't until after our brief interview that Nusha looked at the screen and read what it said. It amounted to cyber sex in the Holy City. The young couple had been exchanging explicit sexual fantasies. As we drove along, I asked Nusha and Borna, she's 25, he's 28, to explain what topics are actually off-limits, where the red lines are.
Okay, so this is the Islamic Republic, and religion is very important, and the sanctity of the Prophet, the Quran, God, the Imams is very much protected.
The leader.
The leader.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
you can't criticize him in public.
No.
The leader, the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, is one of a handful of Grand Ayatollahs. Grand Ayatollah Sana'i is another, but he is known as a liberal, even something of a feminist. He has his own website, and on the day we visited him in Qom, that website had been blocked. His aides explained that one of the government filters had reacted to the phrase women's rights. They were confident the website would be back up soon. Women and the young continue to frighten the Islamic fundamentalists and inspire the reformers.
During the revolution, millions of our people marched in the street. For women, they left their traditional place in the house. They joined their men in the streets. They became highly politicized.
Former Foreign Minister Ibrahim Yazdi has been a consistent voice for reform.
Before the revolution, many highly religious minded families, they refuse to send their girls to the university. No, there is no such hang-ups.
Does that represent a threat to the establishment?
In the long range, yes, not in the short range.
It's a new phenomenon. 60% women go to universities. It's really a new concept in Iran because these large number of educated women, certainly they are not going to stay at home and only take care of their children.
The chances for a genuine democracy in Iran is very high. It is unavoidable. I'm very optimistic. It will come. When it will come, I don't know.
How will it come?
You know, I believe democracy is a learning process. It is not something that you can buy, you can export, you can import, and nobody will teach democracy in the classrooms. Through our own experience, we have to learn.
So when you hear the President of the United States and the Secretary of State of the United States talking about exporting democracy to this region, you think they're naive, or is it a practical proposal?
It's unrealistic. It is naive, because democracy coming from within the society. Not only we as liberal Democrats should learn democracy, the extreme rightists, the conservatives, they also must learn that within the limit of democracy, they can benefit more.
Next, how often do you make the trip? The latest chapter in the Iran-Iraq War.
Koppel on Discovery, Iran, the most dangerous nation, is brought to you in part by Lexmark, the printer company that goes to work for some of the world's most important companies.
Every day, Lexmark printers go to work for some of the world's most important companies. In fact, 75% of the top banks, retailers, and pharmacies use Lexmark. And now, that same performance can work for your home, too. Introducing Lexmark's new all-in-one. Professional features and a protection guarantee that includes next business day replacement. Lexmark is ready to go to work for you.
This holiday season, leave the perfect hint for your wish list. Dreams come true during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event, featuring the redesigned 2007 Lincoln Navigator. The SUV that started it all is once again making its presence known. Find the ultimate holiday gift from the newest family of luxury vehicles during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. Would you like a bag?
No, thank you.
Bless you, Mr. Scrooge.
To Ebenezer.
When you use your Visa card this holiday season,
Ice cream for everyone.
you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win $100,000. A prize like that could loosen even the tightest wads. The Visa Holiday Sweepstakes. Life takes Visa.
Hey, Chuck.
I need access to data.
Okay.
It's in Germany.
Okay.
Oh, Bill, do I need to worry about hackers?
Bill? Bill?
Click on that app. Wow. Built it last week.
Please leave a message for
Bill.
I wish I had
A program or
Some kind of software.
you know?
You know?
I know.
Bill, I think I just killed the printer.
When your infrastructure is ready for anything, your people are ready for anything. Paula Sela is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell her story, we hired that announcer guy from the movies.
When the storm hit, both our cars were totally underwater.
In a world where both of our cars were totally underwater,
We thought it would take forever to get some help.
but a new wind was about to blow.
With Geico, we had our check in 2 days.
Payback. This time, it's for real.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
When I first saw him, I thought, this is a dead man.
Last week on Everest Beyond the Limit, the team saw firsthand the danger that awaits them.
One of our Sherpas died.
But Tuesday, their strength is put to the test.
This is kicking my butt.
And when the mountain begins to weaken them, Russell, the expedition leader, must make a decision.
He's a loss to you guys, not to me. He's not in the team.
Everest Beyond the Limit, Tuesday at 10 on the Discovery Channel.
with Iraq is over. Has been for 18 years now, but it lasted almost 8 years, the longest conventional war of the 20th century. It shaped a generation and colored their attitudes toward Europeans, Americans, and Iraqi Sunnis. When you hear that 70% of Iran's population these days is under the age of 30, you're reminded that 800,000 or 900,000 young Iranian men were killed or wounded in the war. It was in 1983, she says. My brother was martyred by walking on a landmine. If they died in the war, they're considered martyrs. My brother was injured by chemical weapons, he says, and after the war he grew progressively sicker. About 3 years ago, he was martyred from these injuries. Yes, there were chemical weapons. Saddam Hussein had them, and his military used them. What the Iranians cannot forget is that Saddam got much of the wherewithal for those weapons from the British and the French and the Germans, and from the United States. During the run-up to the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003, the line in Washington was, sure, we know that Saddam has weapons of mass destruction. We still have the receipts. The United States also provided intelligence to the Iraqis and satellite photographs. The point was to keep Iran from winning the war. Our producer and camera crew fly south to Abadan, to the oil-rich region of Khuzestan, which lies on the border with Iraq. They are invited to shoot some video at a local wedding. Those are not Persian headdresses that you're seeing. This is an Arab wedding. Indeed, this section of Iran was once known as Arabistan. The fact that most of the locals here are not Persian but Arabs, like the Iraqis, made Saddam Hussein believe that Iran's oil fields would be an easy target. They weren't. We have permission from the press office of the Iranian Ministry of Culture and Islamic Guidance to shoot some video near the border and at a nearby shrine to the war dead. By the second day, when I fly south to join our crew, we've been essentially shut down again. We can still shoot billboards and posters of the martyrs, but when our cameraman sets up to shoot a sunset, he is told we do not have the necessary permission. Our local staff and government fixers arrange an early morning meeting with the Deputy Governor General. Even Iranians have a hard time knowing who wields the real power at any given time and place. The Revolutionary Guard, for example, is separate and distinct from the Iranian military. Hezbollah is an outgrowth of the Revolutionary Guard. Each may have more influence in a given region or district than the central government, all of which at least partially explains what happens next. Government officials with impressive titles like Deputy Governor General seem helpless dealing with anonymous functionaries representing mysterious agencies. I'm sitting next to one of our Iranian government-approved interpreters who's being cautious while still trying to give me a sense of what's going on.
Now he's talking to the fat guy, but before he talked to the other authorities.
Police, you mean?
No.
No.
The
intelligence?
The faceless.
The faceless. I would call them the Revolutionary Guard. Would I call them the Revolutionary Guard?
Yeah, I mean the faceless part of it.
The intelligence branch of the Revolutionary Guard.
That's true. We go to the other police station to get a letter from the intelligence part of it. Then we pick up the fat guy.
The fat guy. that's him heading in my direction, had been our guest at dinner the night before. Why had never been altogether clear, but our Iranian minders seemed to have a deep-seated faith that he could get things done. He was, I was told, connected in some fashion to the local branch of Hezbollah. Essentially, we had been granted permission to reshoot the same material that our crew had shot at the Shrine to the War Dead the day before. Our request to shoot truck traffic heading into Iraq had been denied. But sometimes you get lucky. At a police checkpoint, we are temporarily separated from the fat guy. There's a long line of trucks carrying bags of cement, waiting to cross the border into Iraq. When the truck drivers learn that we are American journalists, they're only too happy to chat.
How often do you make the trip?
Yeah, I go regularly. I've been going.
I'm sorry?
Says I've been going regularly. I go regularly.
And always the same goods, always cement, or what?
Bali Bali, or yes in Farsi. These drivers explain that when Saddam was in power, they needed visas to get into Iraq. Now the trips are so commonplace, they simply get their passports stamped. They earn about $50 for each trip. The commercial traffic moving from Iran into Iraq is enormous. Iraq is a natural market for Iranian goods. Indeed, one Iranian government advisor told us that the eventual goal is to integrate the economies of the two countries. For the time being, though, even the short drive to a drop-off point inside Iraq remains a very dangerous route. One driver pulls me aside to ask how he can get a visa to go to New Jersey. That's going to be tough, I tell the trucker. Next, remember Iran Air 655? They do.
I can give you what you want.
Multiply your possibilities. Introducing Intel Core 2 Duo, the world's best processors.
Deja Vu is the most original and exciting adventure of the decade. Deja Vu is the most original and exciting adventure of the decade. This Wednesday.
You figured out a way to look into the past. We can look anywhere. 4 days ago. You understand? Yeah. No.
Deja Vu is pulse-pounding and full of surprises.
Watch the traffic.
It will take you on a ride you'll never forget.
You think you know what's coming? Hang on. You don't have a clue.
Deja Vu, rated PG-13, in theaters Wednesday.
Hey, over here. Why don't you switch to our network? We're just like them.
Are you reliable?
Excellent question.
How about for email or downloading music?
Why not?
Only one wireless network is America's most reliable for calls, downloads, and emails.
That is a problem, and we are working on it.
Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
This holiday season, leave the perfect hint for your wish list. Dreams come true during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event, featuring the new Lincoln MKZ, 263 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and award-winning interior, all wrapped up in one luxurious package. Open one up for yourself with zero cash due at signing and only $3.99 a month. Find the ultimate holiday gift during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event.
On Man vs. Wild, Bear Grylls goes where he chooses and knows he'll survive. Now you can too, in the You vs. Wild sweepstakes. Enter now to choose and win a survival vacation at your own level of excitement. You'll also walk away with a digital camcorder to record the trip, so you can tell your tale at breakfast with Bear Grylls himself. Go to survivalzonesweeps.com right now and don't miss Man vs. Wild, Fridays at 9 on the Discovery Channel. Bear's coming. Spread the word.
Back in the middle of the Iran-Iraq War, Henry Kissinger once famously said, "It's a pity they can't both lose." What remains in the minds and sticks in the craws of many Iranians old enough to remember those days is the fact that the West, most particularly the United States, did tilt in favor of Iraq. One of those old enough to remember, and it turns out quite articulate on the subject, is the man we've been calling the fat guy. During the Iran-Iraq War, Washington said that it was neutral between the two sides.
We do not believe that Washington was neutral. Washington urged Saddam to wage a war, and also Washington was responsible for the continuation of the war. Rumsfeld, who at the time was a U.S. envoy, supported Saddam. He visited him, established diplomatic relations, and removed Saddam's regime from the terrorist list. These are among the supports the U.S. gave Saddam. And militarily, they attacked our oil rigs and also our passenger airline.
The passenger airliner he's referring to was Iran Air 655. What happened was captured by cameras aboard the USS Vincennes.
Oh, dead! We had him, got it. That was a dead on!
The American warship shot down a civilian airliner, killing all 290 passengers aboard. Washington has always maintained it was a terrible mistake, but the accident merely confirmed Iranian suspicions that America was doing Saddam Hussein's bidding.
On the day of this tragedy, I was one of the eyewitnesses. I will never forget. It was flying at a very low altitude. You could completely see the plane with unaided eyes. You could clearly see the Iranian airbase. How could the Vincent, a sophisticated and advanced ship, not distinguish between this and a jet fighter like an F-14?
When we're done, I ask if he'll help me talk to someone who represents the local branch of Hezbollah. You already have, says the fat guy. I am the leader of Hezbollah in this region. During the Iran-Iraq War, this grim-looking building was a bomb shelter. Before that, it was a garrison of the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company. Now, it's a war museum. Wall after wall of photographs, vital young men who never lived to see middle age. They lost a good part of a generation to Saddam Hussein and his armed forces, and at times you're left with the feeling that Iranian memories are frozen in that decade of the 1980s. Ironically, what completely turned things around, enhanced Iran's influence in the region, gave Tehran enormous influence within Iraq, was the U.S. invasion that toppled Saddam in 2003. Now that the border is wide open, tens of thousands of religious pilgrims cross into Iraq to visit the Shia holy sites of An-Najaf and Karbala. Among them, however, are Iranian intelligence and political operatives. Their alliance with Shiite militias have already made Tehran's influence in southern Iraq greater than that of either the British or the United States. Iranian journalist Mazia Bahari. If I said to you, who has more influence in Iraq today, the Americans or the Iranians, what would you say?
I think Iranians, definitely. I mean, I've worked a lot in Iraq in the past 3 years. I've seen deteriorating influence of Americans in Iraq and the rising influence of Iranians in Iraq.
Just in the south?
No, all over Iraq. Iran is a neighbor of Iraq. We've been one nation at some point. There has been historical connections with Iraq. There has been cultural exchanges, economic exchanges. And for the Americans to think that they can just change the whole situation is ridiculous.
Next, so what exactly are America's options?
For each of us, there's a moment of discovery. We see that all of life is elemental. And as we marvel at element bonding with element, we soon realize that when you add the human element to the equation, the chemistry changes. We find a way of seeing that gives us a way of touching. Issues, ambitions, lives. The human element. Nothing is more fundamental. Nothing more elemental.
Senator Kennedy, welcome to the Ambassador Hotel.
Thank you very much.
What if Kennedy loses? I'm 19, Jimmy. I don't want to go to Vietnam. Do you?
Now that Dr. King is gone, no one left but Bob.
Let's keep the brown man down. Let's send the brown man back across the border.
We didn't cross the border crossed us.
Those who live with us are our brothers. They share with us the same short moment of life.
Bobby, rated R, in theaters everywhere Thanksgiving Day.
Hey, look.
Count, right?
Over there. Isn't that,
Marge Davidson?
Can't believe she got that promotion. All because of an email.
Well, it started with an email.
It started with an email. At first, she did all that data mining.
She saw a pattern.
Then she got an idea.
She sent in her email.
In her email, and that led to the group's presentation.
Which led to
the Beddendorf merger. Right.
Yeah. Still, I send email.
And they're funny, Tom.
With the right software, people are ready to turn information into opportunity.
Why do we love football? Because it gives us the opportunity to show what we can do. Introducing the Canon Digital Rebel XTI. With 10 megapixels and over 70 years of Canon innovation built right in. The Canon Rebel, America's favorite way to shoot America's favorite sport.
On the next big science, in the beginning of time, there was chaos. And then, a new world order where survival of the fittest was the law of the land and the seas. How did these first beings evolve? And what did they evolve into? Witness an event of epic proportions. A special night of prehistoric battles and beasts on Big Science. Starting Saturday at 8 with Before the Dinosaurs, only on the Discovery Channel.
There is a huge and constant U.S. naval presence cruising the Persian Gulf. There is not a single U.S. diplomat in Iran. The only Iranian diplomats in the United States are at the UN. The Bush administration has had more diplomatic contact with North Korea than with Iran. That's a fact. There's little or no chance that Washington will change Iran's behavior through diplomatic conversation. The U.S. and Iranian military, however, are in daily contact.
You know, captain to captain, bridge to bridge. There isn't a day that goes by that we don't deal at some level with Iranian Navy and Iranian Air Force.
Vice Admiral John Miller is the deputy commander of the U.S. Fifth Fleet, based in Bahrain. Roughly 25% of the world's oil supply passes out of the Persian Gulf.
It's important for us to spend time each and every day making sure that we're keeping those sea lanes of communication open.
When it comes to protecting the flow of Persian Gulf oil, there is a genuine coalition of the willing. British, German, Italian sailors. Still, protecting the sea lanes is one thing, searching an immense supertanker for explosives is another.
What you've got right now is an Australian boarding team that's going to search this gigantic oil tanker that's standing off the oil platform waiting for permission to load up. It'll be loading up with about 1.7 million barrels of oil, but first they're going to search the ship. That'll take them about an hour or two, which obviously can't be a very comprehensive search.
On a ship like this, the paper trail alone is bewildering. The crew is a mix of Indonesian, Filipino, Romanian, Ukrainian. The captain is Indian, the owner is Norwegian, and the ship itself is registered in the Marshall Islands. Just imagine some nation unfriendly to the United States, Iran, North Korea, trying to smuggle a nuclear device into or out of the region.
Something this size, you can't really scour it stem to stern and be sure that you've covered the whole ship, right?
No, we can't, but we'll do our very, very best as much as we can. But
And with so many possible hiding places, this would be a daunting task, even with the right gear.
Do you have equipment that would allow you to detect explosives?
At this stage now.
Is that because it hasn't been supplied, or because that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it?
It'd be nice to get a few sniffer dogs on board.
Without the dogs, without the proper gear, this exercise is intended more as a deterrent, perhaps, than with any expectation of finding something. Indeed, this brief search turned up nothing. Economic sanctions, which were designed to influence Iranian behavior in the absence of diplomacy, have proved almost as ineffective. You have only to walk through Tehran's malls stuffed with electronic goods from around the world to get the point. U.S. sanctions have been in place for more than 26 years, with limited impact.
So how many countries other than the United States are really maintaining sanctions here?
Just the United States.
Masoud Ghadessi used to sell American oil equipment in Iran, and he acknowledges that Iran's oil industry has suffered. Oil production was 50% higher under the Shah. But now, he says, the Iranians are turning to other suppliers.
Most of these vital projects, you cannot delay them just because you cannot get the American product.
So what are they doing?
Well, they're buying alternative sources, cheaper. You could buy a Chinese rig, drilling rig for half the price of American product, but you could buy two of them.
So why would anybody ever buy the American product again if they can get something that...
This is the big question. This is the big question that everybody is talking about, that why America is trying to shoot themselves in the foot.
The sanctions probably do pinch a little more than Mr. Ghadessi lets on, but if the goal is to keep Iran from developing its nuclear technology, former Foreign Minister Ibrahim Yazdi points out that there are several other factors at work.
If President Ahmadinejad would agree not to continue the enrichment of uranium in this country, it would open all kinds of doors to cooperation with the West, and most especially with the United States. Why is he so adamant about not doing that?
Americans and the Europeans, they complain against Iran in four categories: human rights, nuclear issue, peace in Middle East, and then support of terrorism. If Iran overcome this crisis, accepting the enrichment, then immediately the question of human rights in Iran will come up. And they are very vulnerable on that issue.
Good.
Goodbye.
What complicates things is the view of Iranian hardliners like Ayatollah Hadavi that America is just looking for a fight. He takes the position that the Bush administration simply used 9/11 as a pretext to go to war.
Okay, many people were killed, and I think it was a disaster. But was really this issue harmful for American policy? Of course, it was harmful for the people who were killed in this.
It was harmful to the economy.
Harmful to the economy in some sense, I can say, okay. But when America come and attack Afghanistan, the war machine of America is working now, and there is a lot of economic benefit for America in this. And now they're talking about the oil of Iraq and the power in the region, the power in the Middle East. Okay, now we can analyze how much harmful was the 9/11 for America and how much beneficial was it? What was it? I think it was more beneficial than the other issues. And because it was, as I said,
within
it
2 years,
made them to make the people accept, because the people, they were not easily accepting the provoking war in Afghanistan. Yeah. But now you can say it was acceptable, legal, because of 9/11.
To say that America benefits from people bringing
3 planes and crashing them into our buildings in New York and Washington, and another plane going down in Pennsylvania, and this is something from which we have benefited? Please explain to me where the benefit is.
No, I don't talk about the people in America.
Well, what about the economy?
No. I talk about
the economy
policy of the government. It was beneficial for the policy of the government, but not for the people, of course.
Do you think the Bush administration is trying to provoke a war with Iran?
I think so.
Really? Which brings us back to the final option, the military option, and those ships off the coast of Iran.
When I first saw him, I thought, this is a dead man.
Last week on Everest Beyond the Limit, the team saw firsthand the danger that awaits them.
One of our Sherpas died.
But Tuesday, their strength is put to the test.
This is kicking my butt.
And when the mountain begins to weaken them, Russell, the expedition leader, must make a decision.
He's a loss to you guys, not to me. He's not in the team.
Everest Beyond the Limit, Tuesday at 10 on the Discovery Channel.
This holiday season, leave the perfect hint for your wish list. Dreams come true during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event. Featuring the new Lincoln MKZ, 263 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and award-winning interior, all wrapped up in one luxurious package. Find the ultimate holiday gift from the newest family of luxury vehicles during the Lincoln Mercury Wish List event.
Be brilliant with E-Trade's exclusive intelligent lending optimizer. Be insightful and explore multiple lending possibilities in seconds. Be in command and make sure you get the most value of every dollar you borrow. In other words, be master of your domain.
Oh, there's my earring.
The intelligent lending optimizer. Only at E-Trade.
Every day, Lexmark printers go to work for some of the world's most important companies. In fact, 75% of the top banks, retailers, and pharmacies use Lexmark. And now, that same performance can work for your home, too. Introducing Lexmark's new all-in-one. With professional features and a protection guarantee that includes next business day replacement, Lexmark is ready to go to work for you.
Rick Wilcoxon is a real Geico customer, not an actor. So to help tell a story, we hired an actor.
Originally, I switched to Geico to save money, but then I was in an accident.
Yeah, that's right. I was in an accident.
I got on the phone and called Geico.
Yeah. Hello. Hey, how's it going?
After a few days, I had my repair check. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I got the check. Got my car fixed. It's my birthday. Fixed my bumper. New taillights.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
It's my birthday.
Hey. This season on Miami Ink, something or another happens.
Could you just leave me alone? He's like, why?
I'm just a big nerd.
I don't have a problem with success.
I'm a total nerd.
Success is awesome.
He's joking.
Only on TLC. That was my blue steel. No, I didn't have enough makeup on. Please.
Joe, tattoo is sexy.
Don't miss Miami Ink. Tuesday at 10, only on TLC.
VHIX.com helps people find the car they want at a dealer near them. How do we improve that user experience?
Free squeegee service.
And your idea?
VHIX TV, with helpful video buying guides that make online shopping more fun.
Helpful video buying guides, now at VHIX.com. Just click Autos on Comcast.net.
Call Progressive Direct today. Operators are not standing by.
Yes, we are. We're here 24/7 to handle any car insurance need.
But you're not an operator.
Well, technically, no.
You're an intensely trained licensed professional.
Yeah, well...
And everyone here has a chair. Look, they're seated comfortably, ready to help people save on car insurance. So like I said, call Progressive Direct today. Think easier. Think Progressive.
Next time on Man vs. Wild. Ever feel beat up, run down? Well, that's what Bear Grylls would be feeling right now. They weren't so damn cold. They slept in snow, jumped in ice water, gotten smacked around pretty good by the Alps, just so you can learn how to stay alive. How does that make you feel? Man vs. Wild, part of Survival Friday at 9 o'clock, followed by a new I Shouldn't Be Alive at 10, only on the Discovery Channel. Watch, learn, survive.
Sometimes there are as many as 2 U.S. carrier groups, dozens of ships, dozens of fighter aircraft in or near the Persian Gulf. But even a single Aegis destroyer can bring an awesome warfighting capability to bear. Commander Mary Jackson is the captain of one such warship, the USS McFall.
If I were sitting in Tehran, would I consider you and your ship a threat, a potential threat?
I'm sure that they know that we're out here, and we know what their capabilities are. They know what our capabilities are.
An Aegis destroyer carries a highly sophisticated computer technology that coordinates all of its weapons systems.
What's under these trapdoors?
Under the trapdoors is the famous Tomahawk missile. We're carrying a
Lieutenant Zohar Sheneman is the combat systems officer aboard the McFall.
There. One would be the Tomahawk missile, which we all know is a land attack cruise missile, range of about 800 to 1,000 miles.
Capable, Lieutenant Sheneman doesn't mention, of carrying a nuclear warhead and of reaching Tehran or any other major Iranian city from where the USS McFall is cruising. The military option. There are those who still believe that this may be the only way to keep Iran from going nuclear.
There is the hope, the expectation even, among some circles in Washington, that if there were some precipitating event, maybe a bombardment, maybe some ground attack in which the United States would come into Iran, that it might cause the uprising.
They're mistaken. I don't believe that one. Any harsh treatment against the present authorities in Iran by foreign countries such as the United States will benefit them more than can imagine.
Yazdi, the veteran reformer, is echoed by the dissident Akbar Ganji.
The pro-democracy forces are 100% opposed to any U.S. military attack on Iran. It will not do anything to help the cause of democracy. It will actually destroy our pro-democracy project. It will destroy our country. The Iraqi experience demonstrated that. It will entangle the U.S. itself in unexpected and unforeseen problems.
Indeed, says Nasser Hadian, the childhood friend of Iran's president, Iran is not helpless against the United States. It has what he calls deterrent capabilities.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Why would Iran have greater deterrent capability against the U.S.?
That in case if U.S. wants to take any sort of military action, they know that they have to pay a heavy cost. Iran has the capability to retaliate.
How?
As I mentioned, they have developed military, intelligent, in security, infrastructure in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and the places which I mentioned. And they're going to use that in case they are being attacked.
Spell it out for me. The deterrence is that Tehran is effectively saying to Washington, implicitly, you think you've got problems in Iraq right now? You just wait and see how bad your problems could be.
Exactly.
You think you've got problems in Afghanistan right now? We could make those problems 10 times as bad.
Exactly.
Both countries, it would appear, are confronted by flawed or ineffective options, with the most dangerous of all, the military option, still a possibility. Nothing, the Bush administration has said, after all, is off the table.
Let's go to R2-D2 up there.
Okay.
That looks innocuous enough. What is it?
It's a close-in weapon system. It's a 20-millimeter Gatling gun. As you can see, the small rounds, they come out, they shoot out at a very fast rate, about 3,000 a minute, 1,200 rounds every 30 seconds, somewhere in there. Put a bunch of lead up in the air and defeat an incoming surface missile like the Harpoon that's coming at us.
You hope they defeat that incoming missile.
We don't hope. We either do or don't out here, Mr. Koppel.
Okay. Force either succeeds or it doesn't. Precisely, which is why, under most circumstances, the military option is the very last to be considered. But economic and trade sanctions have been in place for more than 25 years now, without success. The United States certainly has the military power to inflict horrendous damage on Iran, perhaps even the ability to set its nuclear program back years. But there would be consequences. Indeed, as the U.S. invasion of Iraq demonstrated, military success is rarely an end in itself. Re-establishing contact with the Iranian people and their leaders might prove to be an exercise in futility, an opportunity to complete nuclear research and testing while Iranian diplomats play for time. But among the available options, the unpalatable, the unsuccessful, and the unthinkable, the unpalatable, diplomacy, talking to the Iranians, at least offers a glimmer of hope. And if it were to fail, the military option is still on the table.
These are the cowboys of the Australian outback. These are the men and women who've been herding cattle in the arid deserts of this vast continent for over 150 years. Their lives are tough and demanding, played out in one of the toughest environments on the planet. Now, after decades of declining numbers and disappearing traditions, these Australian folk heroes are making a comeback thanks to an unlikely ally. This place is known as the Dead Heart of Australia.